Hey guys, Mountbatten here. Just before we get into the list, this is my personal top 10 ships. I'm not saying this is the definitive top 10 ships. This is my list. You're going to see, well, actually, yeah, you're just going to see battleships in here because I'm a battleship main and I have played every single battleship in the game, every single tech line battleship. And again, this is just my list. I'm not saying this is the definitive list. You know, yours probably is probably different, and that's fine. You know, nothing wrong with that. Anyway, we're going to be starting out at good old number 10, which is the Tier 3 German battleship Nassau, however you say it. This is really the only Tier 3 ship that I enjoyed playing. All the other Tier 3 ships were kind of derpy and just, I don't know, really underwhelming. Especially the South Carolina, that's a terrible ship. But anyway, the Nassau, you got 12 guns on her, 11-inch guns, you got 2 guns per turret and 6 turrets, and they got this really cool like wing turret setup here to where you just point the front of your ship at whatever you want to die and just go toward it, and it should be dead by the time you get there. With the way the turrets are set up, you can have 3 turrets on target, which is 6 guns on target, and that's a lot of firepower, especially at Tier 3. I mean, they're not accurate in any way, shape, or form, but I mean, it's Tier 3. You also have really good secondaries. They have a really nice range for Tier 3 too. I think it's like 4 or 5 kilometers at Tier 3. That's really nice to have. But anyway, yep, Nassau, number 10. It's alright. Anyway, moving on to number 9, which is the Tier 6 German battleship Bayern. This is, I really like this ship. It was a really nice grind through it at Tier 6. I didn't feel like I was grinding. Felt like I was just playing and having fun. But she's, again, you got really nice secondaries, you know, good old German secondaries. And you get 15-inch guns at Tier 6, which, you know, most other battleships at Tier 6 have like 14-ish, 14-inch and below. I believe. I can't think of any ones off the top of my head that have 15-inch, but there might be 1 or 2. But she's got a really nice armor layout. You know, if if you've played her, you know what I'm talking about. She's really tough, even though she has less health than the other Tier 6 battleships. Again, her guns aren't really accurate, but if you get in there close, like the Germans are supposed to be, you won't have any problems in that department. Anyway, yep. Nassau, Bayern, number 9. Moving on to number 8, which is our first Tier 10, the Republic. Yeah, she's on her because I like that it mixes up the Tier 10 battleships a bit, because all the other ones, you know, besides the Yamato, have a 4 turret, 3 gun per turret setup, and the Yamato has 3 turrets and 3 guns per turret. But the Republic shakes it up by having 2 turrets with 4 guns per turret and kind of this super speed setup. She's got really nice secondaries, good AA, she's really fast, pretty maneuverable, but lightly armored, you know, you gotta trade something for that speed. But she does also have the engine boost consumable. And she's, you just won't be doing as much damage in her as you do other ships, other Tier 10s, because she does only have 2 turrets, and a lot of Tier 10 matches are pretty much just staring contests. But she's also really modular. Any way you build with the module, she's going to be really good at what you do. You got an AA build, she's going to be good at AA. You got a secondary build, she's going to be good at secondaries. You got a main turret, main battery build, you're going to be having your reload well under 20 seconds, which is awesome for having such large guns as she does. Anyway, moving on to number 7 is the Tier 7 German battleship Cogniser. Yeah, I really like this ship when I got here. This is by far my favorite Tier 7 out of all the lines. She's really fast. She has big guns, 15-inch guns. Again, they aren't accurate by any stretch of the imagination, but if you get in close like she's supposed to be played, you're going to do fine. She's also the only tech line battleship to have torpedoes, which actually I honestly forget that she has them most of the time. You know, I'll remember when like me and another battleship are broadsiding from like 5 kilometers, we're like, oh crap, I got torpedoes, need to use them. And it's great when you just whip those out against another battleship, and when you're brawling, yeah, they're gonna die. Getting really good secondaries. The secondary build, you can get her up to around, I think, 7 or 8 kilometers at tier 7, which is awesome. She's, again, really tough. She's not as tough as the other German battleships, or, you know, tier for tier, because her side armor is you know, pretty less. If you played Stronghold, you know what I'm talking about. But still, angles she can take quite the beating. Anyway, Cogniser now, that is number 7. Moving on to number 6. It's the Montana, the tier 10 American battleship. This was my first tier 10. That being said, she's pretty well balanced by tier 10 standards, you know. 12 guns of 12 16-inch guns, you know. It's kind of small by tier 10 standards, but they're really accurate, which I do enjoy, so you know, there's a trade-off for that. And after they lowered her Citadel, her and Iowa Citadel, she's really, really tanky. Well, not super tanky, but way tankier than she was before. I'm no longer afraid to, you know, push up, getting kind of close. As you can see I'm doing here. She also, if you build her for it, she's going to have really, really powerful AA. Carriers will not come close to you. They'll ignore you for most of the match until your AA's been like HE spammed to hell. But even after that, if they try to take you out, you'll probably still take half of their planes with you. Other than that, she's not really good at too much else. She's got pretty good concealment. Get her down to about 12, 13 kilometers, I believe, with a concealment build. Secondaries, not much to talk about there. But yeah, she's a pretty good ship overall. I don't have too many complaints with her, but again, not as powerful as some of the other tier 10s, so that's why she's back here. But again, not a bad ship by any stretch of the imagination, and not really underpowered like some forums talk about her. Like, I don't know, I read a lot of forums saying she was really underpowered, but not really, I don't think so. Especially with how accurate her main batteries guns are. But anyway, in this clip, something quite funny happens. Me and the Isabel moved up to take out this Republican FDG, and he got in my way, so that Republic should probably be dead. But those are some friendly torpedoes from our friendly Shimakaze coming in. Yeah, he decided to just launch 30 torpedoes down here when, 15 torpedoes down here, or however many he has, when I was down there, so, you know, whatever. Anyway, move on to number 5. It's the Tier 8 German battleship Bismarck. This is the ship that hooked me on German battleships. This ship is amazing. As with the other lines, when I grinded to tier 8 and I got up tiered, it sucked. With Bismarck, not so much, because it doesn't matter what tier ship it is when you get close in to them with Bismarck. They're pretty much done, unless it's another German battleship. She has amazing secondaries, 10-kilometer secondaries if you build her for it. And she's incredibly tough. You won't get Citadel'd in her unless you're sitting at like max range or something and a Yamato shoots you and it goes through your deck and into your Citadel. Got that turtleback armor, boy. And, you know, still got 15-inch guns, but again, at close range it doesn't really matter. You're going to do massive damage. And anyway, in this clip, this shows one of the strengths of the Bismarck. I'm just surviving because they had reached our cap. I needed to get up here. Oh, that's another thing. She's very, very fast. I think 32, 33 kilometers. Not kilometers. Knots, top speed. Messed up my words there. Sorry. But she's really fast. Anyway, I managed to zip up here real quick and just hold on to the cap for a little while longer, while my team got to our cap. Not our cap, their cap, and managed to cap them out. Even though we're what, 2-3 ships down. We still managed to pull off a win in this match because I got up here and held them off for a little bit. But anyway, yeah, that's the Bismarck. That's an amazing ship. Anyway, moving on to number 4, the Alsace, the Tier 9 French battleship. I love this thing. It's a close tie between this and the Republic for my favorite French battleship. But anyway, she's got just monster secondaries. 2-second space reload. Throw adrenaline rush on top of that, it just gets crazy. And with the way her armor is, how thin it is, you're going to be getting your reload on your secondaries well below I think it's like almost 1.4, 1.3 seconds. It's crazy. And also she has her main battery is really nice. You get 12 guns on it. You get 12? 4 times, yeah, you get 12. 12 15-inch guns, just hurling a ton of steel at other ships. Really good pins, really good velocities. And the ship's really fast too. And moving on to number 3. Yamato! Tier 10 Japanese battleship, 18.1-inch guns. Need I say more? Yeah, I probably don't have to say any more about that, but Yamato is basically a floating fortress with some really weak sides. I mean, from the front, you're just going to tank everything except other Yamatos, because with 18-inch guns, you can overpin the bow like I just did there on that Izamo. She's got alright secondaries. You know, if you build them up, they're pretty good. They can take care of DDs and light cruisers, but they're not the highlight of the ship. The highlight's obviously the main battery. The ship's, you know, only has a top speed of 28 knots, slowest of the tier 10 battleships, but that's alright. Got the 18-inch guns that makes up for it. And as you can see here is a demonstration of Yamato's side armor. Yep. I think I'm down to 100-something health. Oh, I was trying to kill this Henry IV the entire match. I got him right there. Whew. That was a really good feeling. And then to top it all off, we win. I'm not sure what happened. I think did we reach the points, or did that cruiser manage to? I couldn't read. Anyway, number 2. The font and shortcut's really small and really messed up. The Iowa. Yeah, this was the original ship that I was grinding to when I first downloaded World of Warships. I really like this ship. It's really fast. It's not that maneuverable, but boy is it fast. 33 knots top speed without the flag. Toss the flag on there, you're pushing 34 knots, 34, 35 knots. Great guns, 16-inch guns, really accurate guns. You also have really, really good AA if you build for it. I don't even have an AA build on this ship right now, and before I went to battle, I checked the stats, and I already had an AA rating of 100. And I sent this captain over to the Montana. I unlocked the Montana, and this new captain doesn't even have AFT on him yet, and it's still AA rating of 100. Like, whoa, that's awesome. And again, after they lowered the Citadel on this ship and the Montana, it's a lot tankier than it used to be. I'm a lot more comfortable being in the front with this ship. But yeah, it was a real close tie between this ship and the number 1 ship. Speaking of the number 1 ship, number 1. Let's gross occur first. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, like half the list was German battleships, so this shouldn't be really that much of a surprise, especially if you watch my videos. I mean, this is just the culmination of awesome secondaries, great armor. I mean, it's got a huge detection range and only a firing range of only 20 kilometers, but I mean, if you're doing how this ship is supposed to be played, getting in close and personal, it doesn't matter. The guns have great penetration. These secondaries are well in excess of 10 kilometers. I think it's 11 point something if you have a secondary build plus the flag. And then throw Adrenaline Rush on top of that, it just gets better as your health gets lower, and you'll actually hold your heals because, you know, your secondaries will just be firing non-stop. It's a great feeling when you get to that. And again, really bad torpedo protection, only 27% torpedo damage reduction, which is odd. You know, they designed a ship that's supposed to be good at brawling, but then like give it such crappy torpedo protection. But, you know, whatever. It does have a huge health pool to kind of you know, balance that up. But anyway, this was my top 10 Techline battleships. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite Techline ship is. Not your favorite premium ship, your favorite Techline ship. You know, that ship that, you know, you grind out for and you get to it and, you know, it doesn't disappoint you. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, if you like the video, drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. We're on a push to 200 subscribers, and once we get there, I may do like an all-day stream or something. I'm not sure. I'm still, you know, thinking about what I'm going to do for that. Anyway, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope to see all of you in the next one.